How we doing, guys? Moose here. Welcome back to episode number 78 of our West Ham United career mode. We got about 5 episodes left, and we're just going to blow through it here. I want to bang out this season because I'm really excited, and I think when we get to FIFA 17, the West Ham United career mode, I said we were going to take some time off. But I figure if we get this done fairly quickly, we'll have about a month until FIFA 17 comes out, and so we can get into the West Ham career mode fairly quickly. You can take a look. I looked at Ozyakup, I looked at Zlatan, I looked at Carlos Tevez, thought some big names we could maybe try and bring in here in our last transfer window, but spoiler alert, unfortunately it was not to be, so we weren't able to bring any of those boys in to the club, unfortunately. But we're still sitting top of the table pretty as we go into the beginning of January here. We are top of the table by 4 points over Manchester City. We're taking on Leicester here. 4-2-3-1, Lacazette up front with Payet just behind. Butland's been reinstated to the starting lineup to see what he can do, and we're really looking to just solidify ourselves here in the Premier League and end up at the top of the table. That's our big goal for this season. We want to win a Premier League title, and we want to go as far as we can in the Champions League, but that remains to be seen. We will see in the Champions League. We know we have Juventus in the knockout stages coming up in the next month's recap, so we will have a recap, though, of this particular month. Our first match against Leicester, and you can see we start off very brightly. Roberto Sergi, the man with the beautiful coiffed hair, goes through, wins a penalty, and Lacazette's there to slot away, and then just minutes later, Dimitri Payet is played in by Aaron Cresswell. Lovely little ball squared in by Aaron Cresswell. It's a simple finish from Payet. It's a lovely one, too, that played Cresswell in behind the defense. All he has to do is lay it off to Payet, and he's not going to miss from there in spite of the keeper even getting a piece of it. So fantastic play there. And one final chance here as Rondon's come onto the pitch. Now he flicks the ball onto Leandro Alder. He dances through a couple men, lays the ball through to Martin Samuelson, the youngster, with a fantastic chance, and he scores his first ever goal in a West Ham United kit. Third season, he's finally making an impact, so he's a player that we're definitely looking forward to using in next year's FIFA, or should I say this coming season's FIFA. But he's finally making an impact for our team here. We come away with a 3-0 victory, 3 points, fantastic performance. Man of the match for me was Sergi Roberto. I thought he put on an absolute show. 3 moves to my hair points for him, 2 for Aaron Cresswell, and 1 for the main man, Dimitri Payet. Following that match, we would have another affair here in London. Crystal Palace would be traveling to Selhurst Park to take on the Eagles. Another team that's, solid, decent mid-table side that's going to offer a bit of resiliency for us. They're in 16th right now, so trying to climb away, and we're just looking to, really elevate our advantage over top Manchester City. Still only 4 points, but our goal difference is phenomenal. Connor Wickham, Balassi, punching some really good players up front for them. They'll offer a good attacking threat, but you look at our line, we did have to mix the team up. Rondon and Lacazette paired up with Payet behind, Roberto, Chiante, and Noble in midfield just due to fitness issues. But Rondon comes forward, creates a really good chance that results in Lacazette picking up the ball in the 13th minute. He's brought down by Semi Kaya, the former Galatasaray center back, and of course we won a penalty. Noble in the starting line means our skipper's going to step up and take it, and he puts it in the back, and that's a lovely finish right in the side netting, and it's a fantastic goal from Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Great goal from the skip, and we do take that 1-0 advantage. Come forward again here in the 31st minute. Payet whipping the ball in. He finds the head of Reece Oxford, and actually it comes away, finds the head of John Anthony Brooks, the former Hertha man, the German-American defender, gets his head on the ball and scores really nicely. Fantastic ball in from Payet. It's another assist for him. Fantastic form he's been this season. He really struggled for us in Season 2, but Season 3, he's taken it upon himself to be unbelievable again. And speaking of unbelievable, a great strike from Connor Wickham here to give Crystal Palace a lifeline at the end of the first half. He turns on the ball, gets it out of his feet, and Butland, no chance in the world to keep that out, unfortunately. But one final chance for Crystal Palace. Martin Kelly whips the ball and trying to find Bojan. Gets away as far as Kaya, but Butland forces him to shoot it wide, and Kaya's not able to make up for his prior mistakes, puts the ball wide, and we do pick up the 3 points yet again with a very strong performance on the counterattack. This time you can see Crystal Palace held possession, but we pick up the win. 3 points for Mark Noble was fantastic. Man of the match for me. 2 moves by air points for Jonathan Brooks and 1 for Chiante. We do get a note from Lanzini that he says he's changed his mind. He doesn't want to leave the club, so if we do get any offers for him, we will let him leave, but we won't. Just spoiler alert, once again, Lanzini will be staying at the club, so he may be getting his hands on a Premier League winners medal this season, is yet to be seen. But we come back home to the Boleyn here to take on Tottenham Hotspur, who are really struggling this season. They're down in 14th, and you can see, look at the top of the table. Big shakeup there. Teams like Villa hanging around while Spurs are really struggling. We come back to our 4-2-3-1 formation that's been so good to us this season. Lacazette up top. Of course, we've had to revert back to this because of the Dybala injury and our lack of really top quality strikers. So it's 4-2-3-1 versus 4-2-3-1 here. And once again, third straight match, we start out by winning a penalty. So hopefully take a 1-0 advantage here in the 39th minute. And it was a fantastic turn as Kyle Walker takes down Carrillo, and he is set off. So we will be facing 10 men, but unfortunately Lacazette's unable to score. It's a great save by Michel Vorm, and we can't score. But following that, on the ensuing corner, the ball's whipped in. It's headed down. It's cleared away only as far as Christian Teo, and the former Barcelona winger gets his head on the ball and puts it in the back, and he's not worried about messing up that beautiful quaff of his. Great finish. Payet whips in another tasty corner. We're really dominating from set pieces here. Teo latches onto it and just boshes it into the back of net. We take a 1-0 advantage. Sergi Roberto now lays the ball off to Miralem Pjanic. He comes forward, strikes it. It's a wonderful goal. One of our best goals of the entire campaign from Miralem Pjanic. Off the underside of the bar, you watch goal line technology shows you that it's clearly in the back of the net. It's a fantastic strike from Pjanic. We haven't scored a ton of goals from range, but that's one that we're really going to fancy. It's a phenomenal strike from the Bosnian midfielder, the former Roma man. Lovely goal, looking for about 23 yards out. Just bangs it. Nothing Michel Vorm can do. It's off the underside of the bar and easily in the back of the net. Fantastic finish and a 2-0 advantage for us, and we're not going to be down there. Eric Dyer on the ball against his former club, comes forward, finds Solomon Rondon, dances around Federico Ferrer, lovely little reverse step over to find some space, finds Andre Carrillo, and that is an absolute tap-in. That is a lovely work goal. Dyer found Rondon, who put on a silky display of skills, and it's an easy finish from Andre Carrillo here. Take a look at from Rondon. Nice fake shot, little reverse step over here. Finds the ball to Carrillo, and all he has to do is slide it underneath the outstretched Michel Vorm to seal up another 3-0 victory for us. It gives us 3 points. Man of the match performance coming from John Anthony Brooks in defense, who was stellar. 2 Musi My Hero points for Jack Butland, who actually played really well in my opinion, and 1 point for Miralem Pjanic, who was fantastic. We had 19 shots. The Tottenham are lucky we didn't score more in this particular matchup, but we do face Crystal Palace again now, this time in the FA Cup, so they'll return to the Boleyn ground after we beat them at Selhurst Park in the Premier League. We'll take them on in the FA Cup, and you see we've significantly rotated the team. Antonio, Aldair, Rondon, Noble, Oxford, guys like that getting into the starting lineup here to have an opportunity to see what they can do against this Crystal Palace side that's running out some of their best players yet again. And it would start off with Mikel Antonio going through behind Papa Suarez. In this one, we see the same pattern, 4 matches and 4 the same result. I mean, we're doing the right things to create these chances, but Suarez can feel really unjustly taken away. He clearly wins the ball before he clatters Antonio over, but the referee, not in great position, gives us the rub of the green here, and Noble rubs the ball into the back of the net with his boots. A lovely finish from the skipper, and he celebrates with glee because he knows we want to try and retain that FA Cup dream and possibly even win a treble, dare I say. But Eric Dyer now with a lovely chance. He comes forward. He's taken down as well, and it's a second penalty for us in the 78th minute. So Marky Noble to step up yet again. His second from the spot, 3rd in the episode, and you know he's automatic. Mr. Automatic from the spot. The Cockney Perlo. What a wizard that Mark Noble is on the ball. And that would really be it. Not a ton of chances in this match. Man of the match for me was actually Reece Oxford. He's going to get the Moose's Mighty Hammer Man of the Match award. 2 points in the voting to Mark Noble and 1 to Leandro Aldair, who finally I thought had a really, really nice matchup here. Our Scout of Future Star from Season 1 finally having a bit of an impact for us in Season 3. And our final match of the episode now, we take on Aston Villa away at Villa Park. One last match in the Premier League to finish up January here. You can see Villa in 5th, so they're actually fighting for a Europa, possibly even a Champions League place. We're looking to stay ahead of Man City. They're still only 4 points behind us somehow, so we need to come away with a victory against a resolute Aston Villa side, one that's really learned to put it together, unlike they were able to, or should I say, unlike how they failed to do so in real life. Lacazette, Payet, Carrillo, Teo, basically as good of a lineup as we can put out, and unfortunately it wouldn't start off very brightly. We get very unlucky, a couple of unfortunate bounces here as Cresswell makes a really nice block, and then Jonathan Brooks with a nice tackle, but the ball ends up at Scott Sinclair's boot and he beats Jack Butland here. Look at this defending though. Cresswell does well to block this shot, then Jonathan Brooks with a fantastic tackle. He puts it right on a platter for Sinclair, who does give Villa the lead, but we would counterattack that with Dimitri Payet playing Lacazette through, does really well to get behind in and beat Brad Guzan. Slots in with an easy finish for yet another goal in the Premier League this season for Lacazette, who's absolutely shown for us after struggling for the first half of the campaign. He has hit another level, and he's one of the best players in the league for us right now. But unfortunately, Libor Kozak comes forward and gets a second for Villa. We got pulled out of position. You can see Ogbonna, our center back, is down in the corner trying to defend, which left little Aaron Cresswell to try and defend against Kozak's header, and unfortunately, it's a free header essentially for him, and he beats Jack Butland with really good direction. But one final chance now for us. Dimitri Payet to whip in yet another set piece. Andre Correa whips him, and Ogbonna gets underneath of it. He heads it off the underside of the crossbar and in the back of net, so he makes up for his positioning gaff and puts the ball in the back of net to find a huge equalizer for us. Great ball in from Payet yet again. The set pieces are absolutely delightful for us, and it's a fantastic job by Ogbonna just to keep that header down into the back of the net and give us that equalizer that we so desperately desired. Final stages of the game, though, Jack Butland would be forced to do his absolute best to keep things level here with one fantastic save there, and then a second coming up here on Charles Nzogbe, who struck it from range, which led to Butland being our second voter as far as Moose's Mighty Hammer points go. 3 points for Ogbonna, 1 for Dimitri Payet. Was fantastic. But that's going to be it for this episode, guys. As always, I hope you have enjoyed it. I'm going to try and do my best to get through the rest of this season so we can see the culmination and all of our hard work that we finally put into this season come to fruition, hopefully in a Premier League title, maybe even more. So thanks as always for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.
Like we always do with this time. I got to shine.